Good evening and welcome everyone to the Black Twitch League Season 8, Week 6. I am Gaspump, joined with the fantastic Reno, and we are already underway for the champion select of this match between Active Rush and Team Ishtar. Let's talk about some of the picks and bans at the table already, Reno.
Forgot I was muted.
We got it. Don't worry about it.
So first bands this is the bands. Okay, I'm bugging. There's too much stuff going on in my area right now. So first bands coming from Active Rush being Draven, Senna, and Fiora being interesting picks. Because I don't recall ever seeing Ishtar playing either of those three.
Mm-hmm.
But, they probably know something we don't.
Yeah, the classic scouting going through there. And on the side for Team Ishtar's bans, the Karthus, and the Morgana, Teemo being a placeholder ban. There was a ban lost due to, I believe, a slight rules infraction, but it shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things here. Whereas Active Rush going to be picking up the Zoe first. First pick of the match here, a strong choice to be sure in the mid lane.
Jesus. Oh. I don't know much about Zoe.
She's little girl, and she's really annoying to play against.
I know she puts everyone to sleep. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely one of those long-range poke-style mages, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, of course, a major CC utility ability, and then really setting up for those super long-range damage nukes. And if you have a competent player on that Zoe, certainly a threat from halfway across the map.
Halfway across the map? Wait, is our queue still, ridiculously long?
Oh, yeah. I would say close to a level of Nocturnal. It's insane, the range that you can get if you're using repositioning and movement tools there, and the damage on that is also crazy. Talking about the side of Team Ishtar, though, Syndra and Rek'Sai locked in. Syndra, of course, one of those classic picks in the mid lane, and really capable of blowing an individual target up if you land the stuns, if you land the follow-up with that ultimate. And Rek'Sai, of course, a very strong, aggressive jungler. Though I'm surprised that we see the priority on this Rek'Sai with Jarvan Force still available, who really kind of does those Rek'Sai things, albeit maybe a little better. I suppose we could be looking at a comfort pick here for the Team Ishtar jungler. Okay. Looks like that Kha'Zix lock-in was a slight mistake in the pro draft. There will be a Caitlyn as that AD carry rather than the Kha'Zix locked in for the jungle.
Oh, the raffle. Oh.
All right. Last pick on that first side for Team Ishtar is going to be the Wukong. Wukong, of course, getting that rework here recently, really putting up to the top of the priority list as far as actually laners are concerned. So very curious to see if the solo laner who does take that Wukong, likely top lane from Ishtar, really has a strong grasp of that champion and understands the points of power that Wukong can bring to a given match.
Yo, Ito, that's not fair, bro. I was reading. That is so not fair, bro. Wow. Ito gave away points in the chat. Oh, God. Dude. So, what do you think of this matchup, man?
What was that, sorry?
What do you think we're seeing in this matchup?
You're just a little bit quiet there. If you could run that by me again.
Oh, God. Where's my... Oh, is that better?
Hey, there we go.
All right. What do you feel we'll be seeing during this matchup with a Caitlyn Braum bottom lane?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Caitlyn Braum bottom lane, of course, is an extremely strong two-man lane. Not quite as potent as you might say with the Lucian Braum with that immediate level 2 spike, but you can really bring a lot to the table as far as the Caitlyn and Braum is concerned with the additional range and safety that provides for the Caitlyn. And the fact that we see Team Ishtar locking a Varus into that, and while I do think that Varus and Thresh is a fairly strong lane, the the Braum Caitlyn really has a lot to lock that down, and the fact that a lot of Varus's abilities get stopped cold dead by that Braum's unbreakable shield is something you certainly have to watch out for if you are on the side of Team Ishtar.
Draven out.
Sprom's E stop Varus's ult? Because I know it stops Ezreal's.
So the way that abilities like that tend to work with Braum is that if Braum puts the shield up, they'll stop the ult from traveling any further and get hit by it. But I believe the CC effect still goes out. So if someone is close to Braum, I believe it'll still snake out from him. It's like
That was my question, yeah.
I believe that as long as it's the first hit that goes up, it does fully neutralize the ability. I'm actually not 100% of those interactions. That's something that is not 100% my purview as a play-by-play caster.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like I feel like I haven't seen that happen often enough. Like Braum get hit with the Varus ultimate and then observe if the Varus ultimate spreads to. Because like Braum, he's
Nice is right there. Look at that.
It's supposed to destroy It's supposed to destroy objects that. For me, with gas. Come on in.
As we do get into this champion select proper, you're going to be seeing those proper setups in charge here. Wukong going to be locked into the top lane versus the Renekton, and that's a situation that, I mean, both of these are very aggressive top laners, and Renekton really considered to be the king of that role.
Oh wait, you guys couldn't hear me when I was talking, could you?
We can't hear you, man.
Can you?
We will be having Jaw join us too, apparently.
Yeah, Jaw.
What's up, Jaw? How's it going, man?
The starting ADC for Maria's Dungeon, the championship ADC of BTL season 7.
It's going to be chained to a wall.
Doing well, bro. How about you guys?
I'm doing alright. I'm just got to grab some food.
See?
Is Marino's mic cutting out for someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mic's being retarded right now.
Yeah. Your mic's really cutting out. But wait, so you didn't hear anything I said about the Varus ultimate and the Braum ultimate?
No,
You said it was supposed to destroy objects, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, new mic. I forgot that I need to put the thing down.
I'm pretty sure what happens there is it still does spread.
Okay, there it is. There you go. Jaw coming in with all of his bot lane.
I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah.
You like Varus, right? If I remember correctly, yeah. Jaw really enjoys playing Varus.
I do enjoy playing Varus.
Yeah. Where do you think Varus stands in the meta right now as compared to like the? I think if I remember correctly, I think Marie was recently telling you that you should stop playing Varus because Varus was recently ranked as like the bottom tier of ADC.
Yeah, she posted a tier list, but I don't agree.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion?
I think Varus is definitely up there. Like if he's at least A tier, I think. It's still a very strong pick. He gives you, especially I guess in competitive as well as solo queue, because in solo queue it gives you like you tend to have teams with no CC, so he provides that himself as an ADC, which is pretty rare. Not a lot of ADCs have CC themselves, and you can choose when to start a fight really, and you can peel and you can go 2 different builds. You can go unhit, you can go lethality. So it's a very versatile champ. His only downside is his immobile, right? But once you get to a certain point and certain items, you actually just you become almost like a Kog'Maw. You just stand your ground, and it's up to them to try and kill you where you're just firing off so fast.
Yeah, you kind of just become like a turret, right?
Yeah.
Now, Jaw, from your experience playing the Varus, do you think that on-hit or lethality is the significantly stronger build right now?
So the way I do it is it's based on the enemy team comp. So let's say in this game specifically, I'd probably go on-hit because lethality Varus does really well. Like he does significantly well into teams that allow it, which is teams that don't stack armor. So they have a Braum, which already blocks your Q. That's not good. And especially if you're lethality Varus, 90% of your damage is coming from your spells. So they have a Braum already. They have a Sejuani. They have a Renekton. So a front line like that, you're not really gonna get much with lethality Varus. So it's better to go on here.
speaking of the Braum, actually, this Varus was picked into that support pick. How do you feel like the Braum changes the dynamic, not just of this bot lane 2v2, but of the greater team fight setup coming here through for Active Rush?
Braum's actually a good pick here. I don't know. You said they picked Varus into Braum, right?
Yeah.
It's not too bad actually, because a lot of times you can. What a lot of people don't do is they don't punish the support. Like they tunnel in on the ADC so hard. They're like, oh, we have to kill the AD. We have to kill. Well, it's not necessarily like that. You can punish the Braum himself if he oversteps with that unbreakable and puts himself like in a dangerous spot. You can just ult him, and then you can go for the kill on him because he puts himself like right in front of you. But it's gonna be up to Nelson to outplay. So if Emo does get hooked, for example, it's up to Nelson to jump in and protect him, or Nelson also has the power to block the Syndra ulti. If anybody's getting targeted by that, he can just jump in and wall, and he blocks the Syndra orbs as well.
And that's actually so huge in the team fights again, because this bladed Thesis pick with the Zoe is going to be very vulnerable to the Syndra. If that is stunned, if the orbs come down, I mean, that's virtually a guaranteed one shot later on into the game. But again, VT Nelson's pick here does change the dynamic, and I think that creates a mini game here for Ethan in the mid lane. Like, do I hold on to the ult? You know, how am I looking to navigate the team fights with that ability specifically?
Right, and there's going to be a lot for the Braum to look out for in the fights, because, like you said, there's the Syndra and there's the Varus that are trying to like poke through and get through that backline. But at the same time, they have two divers. They have the Rek'Sai and the Wukong, which are going to be behind the Braum, probably on that backline. So. There's a lot to consider there if you're Braum. But however, it's still every draft has, like, obviously you can get some advantages, but it still depends how you play the fight. So if you do wait, for example, on that unbreakable to go down, it's only around like 3 or 4 seconds of the fight, right? So you can hold your Syndra ulti until that ability is down, and then you use it. There's many ways to play around it, really.
Yeah, without a doubt on that one. I guess the question that I have is that looking at this 5v5 setup from both of these teams, Joe, who do you think has the advantage here coming into this first match of the best of 3?
So Ishtar is undefeated, right? Or is it the other way around? I'm not sure exactly, but I think both these are top two teams.
Ishtar is undefeated, and Active Rush is 4-1. Ishtar is 5-0.
That's a pretty solid matchup, all things considered.
Yeah, it is for sure. In terms of draft, I want to say, I'm not sure. I feel like it's pretty equally. Both teams have like bruisers and tanks, as well as like good engage and good backline poke. So in terms of compositions, both teams are actually looking to do the same things here. So you know how certain teams draft like poke comps, or teams draft like teamfight comps, or team draft engage comps. I think both these two teams are very similar in terms of what they drafted. So they're both running the same type of composition. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it's going to come down to who plays the fights better. And you see, just like I said, now you see both teams are literally mirroring each other from the invades as well. Both had the same idea, but went opposite ways.
Both teams have very strong level 1s. There's no reason not to try to push the advantage here. And I guess the question that then comes to mind is, are we going to see one of these teams kind of crack under the invade, or are we just going to see 2 ships passing in the night at this level 1 mark?
Yeah, we just see a ward dropped in the blue team's red side, and word that's very interesting actually. Both teams did really deep invades, but the wards they put are very shallow wards. I would have liked to see a deeper ward on both sides. They're like, you see how that red ward is on the very edge. I guess they're looking for a level 2 gank maybe, protection, but if you're looking for more information, usually a deeper ward on that, like you see where that red ward is, a deeper one spots the jungler moving from his red to his wraiths, or from his wraiths to the blue side jungle.
Just put it right next to the buff camp itself.
Yeah.
You've got a good idea of what kind of path they're looking for, and that provides such an enormous amount of safety for these laners in the first 2 to 3 minutes of the game. And when you're looking at some aggressive junglers, I mean, I feel like the Rek'Sai is definitely more in this camp than, say, the Sejuani is if you're looking for level 2 to level 3 gank mark. But still, it really allows these laners to kind of play around the knowledge of that jungle and, temper their aggression, or the way that they're looking to manage these waves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely Rek'Sai has the edge in terms of early game. So we'll see what kind of, and Rek'Sai has very creative paths you can take as well. Like in terms of gank paths, you can gank from behind the laners depending on which side you're ganking with his E, which makes him a very strong early game jungler.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
yeah.
mean, it's you look at jungle pathing that is almost Elise-like in nature, right? Or the Zac maybe, the very aggressive jungle. Nice hook there from Sincere Support. Trigger out a bit by the Caitlyn and the Braum. So some nice early aggression coming out here in the bot lane, but this is a lane that could be difficult for the Braum and the Thresh, depending on that wave management. Tygoon looking for the 1v1 against.
Oh, they're going for the all-in here. Tygoon going for a Crowball Laundry. Actually,
damage and getting that kill. KO now in trouble as well, and the red buff ticking down from Rek'Sai's
oh, and she does go down.
Taking that kill as well. 2-0 now at 3 minutes.
Team Ishtar with a very good start here. They already get the lead, and that's exactly what you want with that Rek'Sai early in the jungle. Looks for that Sejuani, invades, and finds the kill without even having to blow his own flash.
Absolutely, and that's such a huge pickup, right? I mean, you look at the aggression in the early game, and K9 majorly caught out there. So we also forced the flash there, looking for this play in the bot lane. Sincere Support does land the hook onto the Caitlyn with the Unbreakable down from Braum, trying to cut it out. Frostbite going on through the Lantern there. Ignite still ticking the flash. One more auto to take Thuggish Emu, caught out between a rock and a hard place there. The flay onto VT Nelson, sending him back towards his tower. He will make it on out for Preparo. Now looking for K9 in his own jungle once again. There's the flash, there's the knockup, and a pause as the Cinder disconnects.
Pause at the right. They're like, remake, guys. Our team's inting, says Nelson. Yeah, this game is already looking like it's starting to spiral out of control in terms of for Ishtar's favor right here. And you see right here, you see how you play around the Braum's Unbreakable. Thresh is actually, I love Thresh in general. I love that pick because he can do so many things. That support is so versatile.
Yeah, one of my favorite supports as well.
Yeah, he's so good to play with. And you see exactly what he did there. So he hooks the Caitlyn, right? Braum stands in front of the Varus with his wall up right in his face, but Thresh just throws a lantern back. And they just absolutely, they bypass the Braum and focus on the Caitlyn.
Absolutely. I think that you have to look at the way that the individual plays are being made there, right? And Caitlyn kind of walked directly into that Thresh hook, and if you're looking to aggress as the Braum and the Caitlyn, you need to be watching out for that death sentence and ability proof true to its name for Thuggish Emu going down there. And some great play around those abilities from Frostbite and Sincere Support. The Unbreakable, not quite cutting it in that last fight, and maybe a little bit of a questionable play there from Sincere Support. I think maybe that you can get a little bit more out of VT Nelson there before he's able to flash away, but still, the kill picked up in the 2v2, especially when the aggression is coming through from the Braum and the Caitlyn in the first place, is a really good sign for Team Ishtar right now.
Yeah, and if I'm Team Ishtar right now, I am 100% going to be looking to punish this bot lane. Caitlyn from behind, from my experience, is terrible. Like, it's very hard to come back as Caitlyn. And if you look at summoners, you're looking at Sincere Support has his flash on Thresh, and Caitlyn has no flash. That, I don't know how to tell you this other than that is a guaranteed kill already waiting to happen. Caitlyn has to either give up so much farm, or walk up and farm, and then gets flash flayed. You don't have to flash hook. You just flash flayed. Flash flayed backwards, and that's almost a guaranteed kill, because that you turn that into a hook, turn that into a Rek'Sai gank, that 100% kill, supposedly.
I think the big thing you have to look at, too, is that not only is the bot lane from Active Rush having a difficult time, K9 is currently in the dog pound there with Vopero on this Rek'Sai, coming in for yet another gank, as we see from the lovely pause screen that we're waiting at. I mean, already pick up that solo kill over by the blue buff, and now looking for even more on this red side. And K9 down a down a flash. Not sure if the blast cone is available right now. So
I don't think it is, but I don't know if he has enough damage to kill the Sejuani here. Even like he went for the flash knockup, but and I can't tell if Sejuani has her Q up still. But even if she doesn't, I think she can just kind of walk away here. And Rek'Sai hasn't really bought anything yet. He only has his machete, and I don't think it's gonna be enough damage.
What was the stated reason for the pause? Oh, the Syndra. Ethan disconnected.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
That's correct.
Do I have any of these people on my friend list where I can spectate?
You get spectate for real?
Let's see. Yeah, because then I can like move around and see like cooldowns, spell
Yeah.
cooldowns.
Well,
and
not
stuff.
during pause, of course, but
Oh yeah.
we're all stuck here together.
Yeah, pause. It's awful whenever the pause happens during like some game effect sound being
That's
played.
that's
Oh my
not
god. You remember Ito last time when someone paused in our game and I was right in front of a Nautilus who just activated his W, and he was
Oh.
breathing so loud. He was breathing. All I could hear was
Oh yeah.
just that Nautilus W sound effect, and it was
Damn, dude, can I get you an inhaler?
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's what I was
I've heard
thinking.
all sorts of different things in this game played on loop because of pauses. Like Corky's Gatling gun. That's also
That's-
awesome.
Yeah, you know that actually sometimes freezes just without even a pause. Just
Oh wow.
just by itself. I remember there was a bug where Gatling gun sound was just perma on.
Oh no.
How about it's the same thing with Zanya's
Oh, the Zanya's
yeah.
little ringing
yeah,
sound.
the Zanya's sound. I'm not sure if I would categorize it as humming necessarily, but it's
It's more of like a very ringing
sound
effect.
Yeah. I would also say so some observations I've noticed for these lineups that these teams put up. Active Rush is missing some major team members. I'm not sure if they were not able to make it today, but we may have noticed that our star player from Active Rush, both of them in fact, were not able to make it to this game. So Active Rush is kind of a little bit behind
who
here.
again? Who's missing?
Expo and their team Catlin Rutledge is Beast. Neither Expo
true.
or Rutledge is Beast is in this game currently. So they do kind of. I think there were some scheduling issues, so they weren't able to make it. So they did have to put in their subs today.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So Thuggish Emu and I believe K9 are the subs coming in for Active Rush. I'm not sure if they'll be able to make it later on in the series. Maybe if they can make the game kind of if they can make the game last out a little bit longer and they try to survive. But meanwhile, Team Ishtar is definitely putting their full. That's their full Wombo combo
Hey.
lineup. That's their undefeated lineup over there.
Resuming. All right, K9 taking a ton of damage from Rex. I look
Oh,
at that
wait, hold on a second.
Conqueror damage,
Yeah.
but a nice stun coming on through here. Pause delay
Nah, I
for
think
that,
she's
but
fire.
Zoe will be joining here.
And Bubble lands, but I think Syndra is right here.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
All right, we're back. And let's see how this lane plays out. Right, like I said, I'm gonna be looking bot lane actually right here because that is where the summoner advantage is, and we'll see if Loperdo looks to punish that.
Oh,
Almost
Rousey
died.
there, but both mid laners fairly low on mana, unlikely to, really end up pulling out that kill. Something I'd like to point out top lane here is we've seen a lot of Renekton builds over the years, but the one that has really been seeing a lot of attention lately is that Blade of the Ruin King Rush, where
Oh,
you
yeah.
go for the on-hit damage and then the Ruthless Predator, that W, procs the on-hit 3 times
Yeah.
with Fury Empowerment, and that can be a very significant amount of anyone's health. So we'll
Yeah,
have to
that,
see here. I mean, Tygoon picking up that solo kill earlier has definitely put him ahead on this Wukong.
That Blade of the Ruin King buff to melees just made it meta now for like almost all melee top laners. Aurelia, Renekton, Wukong as well can build it. It's just very strong. I've seen a Yasuo in my games build it first. It's just a very strong item right now for melee users.
Well, it helps that a Cutlass is extremely...
Oh wait, I'm actually here. I think I don't know. I felt if Crowbar Logic wanted to go for there's another pause to go for the dash in here, he would have actually maybe been able to kill Tygoon.
I think the big thing is that we do see different summoner usage here, right? Logic has brought the press the attack on the Renekton, where you're looking for those short trades where you get your press the attack off, do your damage, and then zip out. Whereas Tygoon has the Conqueror, and we need to just accept the fact that Conqueror is a bonkers rune, right? The amount of healing and bonus damage you get from it, absolutely insane. And once Renekton's abilities are on cooldown, Wukong very quickly turns that fight, especially the buffs he's received, the bonus attack speed that he gets from his E, and I mean the armor reduction on his Q all lead up to a situation where that Renekton is going to get burst out very, very quickly if it's a fight that he is not taking 100% on his terms. So I think it's probably wise that Krobowagic back off from that one, not try to go in too hard, especially after giving up that solo kill top lane. I feel like that there's a way that Renekton gets back into this level 6. You get your ultimate, you get that extra survivability and damage, and you try to go for that defensive itemization, but I think now might not be the time for that kind of all-in play.
Yeah, which is interesting because when you think about it, like press the attack is usually taken for in-lane presence, really, like for in-lane dominance. It's not really taken for the team fight. Nobody really. It's very rare for people to take press the attack for the 12% amp on damage afterwards. So for him to be losing the trades or like backing off of them is kind of worrying, because then now he's going to be in mid game in the team fights with press the attack, whereas Conquer would be a lot more value in those team fights.
I mean, the fact that with press the attack you can just zero out a squishy almost instantly is really going to help. You flash in with a full fury bar, hit that ruthless predator, get all 3 stacks off instantly, and just dynamite this Varus or this Syndra if you catch them out. That's something you got to be, really looking out for here if you're on Team Ishtar. But I think that playing from the back foot definitely does not suit the Renekton's own personal goals here. So, especially the
mid lane also, I'm surprised Bladed Thesis is going toe-to-toe in terms of farm, because every time we pan over to mid lane, it looks like he's getting beat down in terms of trades. But I guess he is keeping up in farm quite well. Oh, K9 might be caught out again here.
In trouble. That's Wukong going on through, goes over the wall. A nice trouble bubble from the Zoe.
Stun doesn't land.
Far up, Paddlestar lands, gets some decent damage there, but no further trade since your support going on into. There's the Unbreakable from the Braum. BT Nelson definitely in trouble. Grab down to his liver. Piercing arrow lands and will secure that kill, as you said, Jaw. It's the aggression we were talking about from that bot lane up the summoners.
Yeah, and Thrust didn't have to use any of his summoners, and they didn't even go for the Caitlyn. It's just what I said before the game started is a lot of people overlook punishing the support. And that's exactly what they did there, because Braum jumped in.
Bladed Thesis in trouble as Tycoon comes on.
You can live? Yep, he does.
Trouble landing on the wrong target to save his life there, and both the mid laner and top from the side of Ishtar will get away scot-free as Voberto low-jacks that red buff as well as a dragon, and it just feels like Team Ishtar has all the advantages coming into this 7-minute mark in the game. This is has definitely felt pretty one-sided so far.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead to 7 minutes isn't ideal, to say the least.
It's ideal for one team, but...
Yeah, ideal for one team, right?
Active Rush is a little undermanned here today, so they're really trying to survive. I really hope that if there is a...
Are they coming in game 2 or something?
I do not know. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope.
Wukong going in onto this Renekton. That's a lot of damage so far. Press the attack is going to get proc there, and Krobowagic fairly healthy, going for the t-shirt there along with the Doran's blade, and the extra armor certainly does not hurt against this Wukong, who does not have any lethality at all stacked so far. So
yeah, now we're gonna see if this Wukong is going for Death Dance first or Cutlass. Yes, he is. So he's going for the Blade of the Ruin King first as well.
Speaking of itemization, we're going back to base, immediately picking up the Ninja Tab into double longsword. I think a wise choice, but the amount of healing this Wukong is going to be doing over time in this lane is certainly going to be difficult for the Renekton to deal with unless he's looking to burst them out. Sejuani is getting close to level 6 mark, so the Glacial Tomb from the Sejuani certainly a strong option in those games.
Hook lands on the Caitlyn.
Once again, finding that hook target, Thuggish Emu is kiting on backwards.
Also Braum.
Yep. Does get that stun, but that's the ult from the Varus, and then piercing arrow.
Hook lands again.
That kill, followed up by another hook. Caitlyn running right into it, and Thuggish Emu forced to use both flash and heal. I have to save the support. There's the flash on, and one more auto attack to claim that kill, and Frostbite already on a spree at 8 minutes.
Yeah, this lane is done in the bot lane. Really, like I said, Caitlyn from behind is not a champion you want to play, and Varus when he gets ahead, this bot lane is going to be a menace throughout mid game and late game.
Right. I mean, you're looking at 4 kills up in the 2v2, and 3 of those to the Varus. I mean, this is really a best case scenario for this lane, and it feels like everything that VT Nelson and Thuggish Emu were looking to do completely stopped cold dead with that play at level 4. They engaged the aggression, were punished for it, and are now more or less completely out of this lane.
That's correct, and Varus is probably going to come back with a Cutlass himself as well, and then Kaelin is still on just boots and basically just attack speed. She has no AD yet.
That was half of Syndra's health with one paddle star. Thanks, Zoe.
There it is. Zoe's still Zoe, even though she's 0-1.
Oh, the ult lands onto the Syndra, but is immediately cleansed. Volperto coming on and giving that damage onto Bladed Thesis. He will lock that kill on the Conqueror. Damage from Rek'Sai, insane. As Volperto on a killing spree after turning the gank mid lane. 0 to 10 at 10 minutes. 5,500 gold up. Team Ishtar is running a riot.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think this one's a go next game, to be honest. It just kind of ran away from them. I was going to say that their window is when Sejuani hits 6 and then has that very solid gank potential, but it did not work out, unfortunately. So everybody at least is matching. Everybody's 0-2. So there's that. They got going for themselves. But
team coordination, right?
Yeah.
This is the whole benefits of practice.
Oh, and they dropped the Rift too. That's gonna be a huge Wukong and Rek'Sai.
I mean, this is a Wukong who already has the Cutlass as well as the Tiamat. Actually giving up another kill top lane while things were going on across the map too. That is just a tough situation in general for Active Rush here, but it's felt like Team Ishtar really has just had their number from square one, right? Plays in the jungle with Volperto, picking up that kill. BT Nelson once again finding the Varus ultimate available. Does not have the flash, but another incredible hook landing from Sincere Support.
If I was drafting against Team Ishtar, I would honestly ban Sincere Support's Thresh. He has now shown that he can perform really well on it multiple weeks in a row.
Yeah,
like, he has played this Thresh very often. Like this is.
That's why I love Thresh, man. Thresh is just like, here, AD, here, have your kills, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just serve it on a plate.
Yeah. He didn't even use his R there. I was gonna say he was pretty greedy of when the first hook on Braum. I would have wanted to see him just box, but he didn't even use box even after landing the second hook. They were just, I guess, that confident that they don't even need to use box to get a kill.
And I mean, isn't this the game to be that confident, though? I mean, you smash lane wide open. You're 11-0 here at 12 minutes. Zoe tries and fails to steal a dragon. This is looking like a total wash, right?
Everybody has to die once more now on the team to match the Kaelin, bro. Not everybody. Oh, outplayed.
Just Syndra things.
Yeah. It was a rough spot to be in, because I don't want to say you want to be starting to talk about next game already, because it's only 12 minutes, but
it's 1 minute per kill for one team.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of record where you're thinking, all right, so next champion select, let's try banning the Thresh. Let's get some winning matchups in lanes, and I mean, this is just pressure on all fronts, right? And it feels like even if there were answers to be had, that Active Rush is so far behind that there's no way to get him, though. Tygoon just going to dip and dodge out of the way. Ultimate is able from Sejuani, but not thrown out in time to catch anyone. And K9 catching a couple tower shots there on the attempt.
Yeah, I'd honestly be looking at like you said, the Thresh ban next game. Might want to reconsider the AD pick, because I don't think Kaelin is...
Another day, another hook from Sincere Support. Catching out the bomb here, forcing the flash. Tower at a sliver, and
I think he just killed Tower and going.
Yeah.
Flash, since you just wore flash. He has not used his flash since the game started, by the way.
Oh man, Volperto finding another play up top. Krobowagic popping the ultimate, only to go down immediately afterwards, and just another pickup. It feels like we're at 13 minutes and 50 seconds, and we'll give it another minute until we see that 15-minute surrender vote come through.
Yeah.
Something that I have also said before in the past, there's a reason why Team Ishtar is undefeated. They know how to win the game when they get a lead. Like a lot of teams in like the amateur esports league, they could like get a lead, but then like they don't do all the correct stuff, because I think it's a little bit more difficult to win with the lead early than it is to scale I think scaling into a game is easy, right? If you have a scaling comp that wins late game, just scaling and getting the correct items is easier than doing the objective plays you need to do in order to win a game early. And Team Ishtar, you have to like have a lot of coordination, and you can't be scared of making those engages and like doing what you need to do in order to get those kills and getting those objectives. And Team Ishtar is very good at doing that. They definitely show that they play together as a team a lot, and that they know how to end games. So
That's a
this
really
is
good
what you
point.
expect here.
And I'd like to make a mention of that because I cast for amateur games all the way up to challenger level, and one of the things that I noticed that a lot of teams have difficulties with is you'll see a squad get ahead in the early game, but then it is difficult to close out because there's not really a flow chart of the things that you should be doing. Because once you get to like 25 minutes, it's okay. We get our side lanes set up for slow pushes. We get set up. We look to take a Baron. All that good stuff. But at this point of the game, there's no real set expectations for that kind of thing. And you're seeing kills all across the map here. Sincere support taking a fair bit of damage here, but that's an insane amount of damage going through the Braum shield. Yeah.
I mean, 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Where is it, boys?
I admire the stoicism. But yeah, this just feels like a squad coming through here from Team Ishtar that really does have the answers for, okay, we've got a lead, we're looking to push our, we saw great deep vision coming through as soon as they had lane advantages, use that to continue forcing that aggression. It's calculated. I love seeing that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those are the harder things to do that you kind of learn as you get experience in playing these competitive things. It's something that, like, when I was playing my collegiate team, something that we had to focus on a lot. Or when I was like first had like a BTL team, whenever we started like winning championships, it's like, yeah, whenever we get ahead, we have to do the correct stuff to do in order to, like, we need to end the game. Right, end the game, and you got to do that by taking advantage of what you should be able to get. Whenever you get those towers, now you should be able to push your vision forward. Now you should be able to look for picks. Now you should be able to kill them, and you should be able to transition that into more objectives to get even further ahead. You have to snowball that lead, and they do it like so well.
It's just like clockwork. Fantastic stuff. I mean, 11,000 gold lead at pre-17 minutes is absolutely backbreaking. And the longer a game like this goes, the more you need to talk about momentum and morale, because it's just soul crushing to be in a situation like this as Active Rush. And when you're looking towards your next game, you have to be able to mentally reset and go, okay, well, that was game one. This is a best of 3 series. We need to try and come at this and approach this as though, okay, game one was a fluke. We got mashed, but that doesn't mean the series is completely over. And it's the really good teams that are able to bounce back from that and really put up a good showing in the second game of a given series. So we'll have to see how Active Rush will be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's definitely going to be like based off of the veteran. I know there are some more veteran members here. They have some newer members, but I know that Active Rush is actually a team that also competes in other leagues. I believe I've seen their team compete in Zero Gravity Gaming, and they have teams that compete in other leagues. So their team captain's not here, but they still have some of their veteran players. Oh my
Paddlestar block.
They're about to get on board,
coming
but
through. A great hook there onto the Sejuani, who will fall. It is unstoppable now for Frostbite. Maybe looking for more, but the Caitlyn traps do stuff that advance. Wukong going back to base in the top laner. Definitely saved. Hook forcing the flash now out from the Zoe. Bladed Thesis playing with fire there.
now, what would be very expected is if someone on Ishtar dies, and then you see the Ishtar surrender vote come out. That's what you
No
you
perfect
definitely want
game
to
to
see.
go
Yeah.
next. Once again, that inexorable pressure coming in mid lane will be likely to claim this mid lane inner tower. Rob has joined. We'll be sending the members back. It's so difficult to take these towers in the non-push competition.
No way.
Wow.
She forced the heal, but
That was a heal and still almost dead there. That
Yeah.
heal had not come through. Certainly a kill picked up. Hook almost landing onto the Rectum there, but Chicken's deftly stolen by Ethan. Now in the center with a stable connection for a change, and This aggression still coming through in the mid lane tower. About a minute till that Baron spawns, and then that's going to be a guaranteed push. Likely to the side of Team Ishtar if they're able to take it.
So by the time everybody on Team Active Rush completed their first item, it was around 18 minutes, and Team Ishtar were already well into their second item.
Wukong finding the Caitlyn. That's one old charge pop, looking for even more. Tycoon easily securing that along with the Braum. Second charge from Shelly will crack that inhibitor tower. Now onto the inhibitor with 2 down. This is a very rough situation to be sure for the members of Team Ishtar. Shelly maybe able to get one more charge off. Wow, that's absolutely huge. Nexus Tower #1 gonna be crushed. Zoe there is able to get the Drowsy off on the Wukong. The second Nexus Tower already down to 1/3, but they're running out of minions. Ethan could be in danger, but no. Now unstoppable, looking for that backline. The cleanse onto Ethan will stay alive. No, the tower shot claiming that kill. Oh, the hook still onto Braum though. Pulled back into the team. The Unbreakable not going to be able to save his life. Reinforcing Wave has joined in the mid lane, maybe looking for this structure with still 20-second death timers, taking on 3 members of this squad. It's only Caitlyn and K9 left alive to defend this Nexus Tower. There's the landing onto K9's Sejuani, will force the flash and be sent back to base at a sliver. And
I'm
now
disappointed I didn't see the
that tower really just destroyed their perfect game.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Actually, it was the fact that Ethan stepped under the tower that was the problem.
Yeah, I think he was fine, but he was worried where to go and
Exactly. He took one
realized
step
there was a
too
tower
close.
there.
Oh, tragic.
But yeah, I think Team Ishtar right now just goes to straight to Baron and it's a tunnel.
There's no way. I mean, is Volpater really going to get away with this? The Brommel misses. How long till tunnel comes back? Oh, it's up in time. They're not going to go for the dive. Oh, man. What an escape from Volperdo.
Oh, they're going to lose their Nexus, their second Nexus Tower.
Caitlyn's on it defending. Not nearly enough, though. The
and then Wukong's just TPing to end the game.
That's teleport coming through from Tygoon. No one else available. Looking to stop this. Krobowagic will fall. The staff comes down, absolutely crushing the Caitlyn. It's Tygoon on the Nexus. Looking at this game once and for all. Braum coming on through this Wukong. Maybe a second fatality. The second Ignite is there. Looking the damage onto Zoe, but will be enough to get the shutdown. The minion wave smashing through top lane as the remaining members of this Ishtar squad look to clean things up and crack a second inhibitor.
It's 2 people, you got it ×9 as soon as the game ends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hello, report Sinja and Wukong for feeding.
Yeah. But honestly, this game is. I honestly like. I'll give it to Team Active Rush for pulling through and still playing it out. But and this game looks to be done right here on this push.
That's just some incredible mental, honestly, right?
Yeah.
That makes me confident that maybe they can try to reset for the game too.
All right.
That's tough.
I mean, I sure hope so. I mean, that's a real rough game #1 to start off with in a series, and I think that if you're looking at the stuff going on through here for Team Ishtar, you have to look at the play from sincere support, right?
Oh, the damage numbers.
Thresh was on fire all game long. Hit like 80% of the hooks he threw. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, we're looking at Thresh ban next game. I think so. And
his board is very sincere with his supports.
Might be also a Rek'Sai ban. I'm not sure, but other than that, I think it's just Team Active Rush have to clean up their own draft. I think clicking in the bot lane maybe a little bit. Their top side was all right, but the execution was not on point. But yeah, we'll see what they pull out in game 2.
There's a term that I find myself falling back on when it comes to games and matches like these, and that's threshold of execution, right? The composition that we saw drafted from Active Rush, I felt was significantly more difficult to pull off, especially with the Zoe in the mid lane, than what we saw drafted from the members of Team Ishtar, and especially in the opening 5 to 6 minutes of the game, that difference was seriously highlighted by the decision making and really just the ability of these champions to come on through and completely smash during lane phase.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, their comp has really most of the things you need. You have your bruisers, your frontline, your CC. Every single character on that team has CC really. So
Yeah.
they're not really, and tons of damage on that team. So you're not really lacking in many aspects.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll be right back in just a few more minutes for a second champion select. Don't go anywhere.
Rip, bro. So they're not having Expo join next game or what?
Learn your face by heart, but you'll be in black and white. In his eyes.
All right, and we are back for game number 2's Pro Draft. I am Gaspo, I'm joined by Jaw here, and we are already underway with the second draft for this game. Look at both teams have already banned. We've seen the Set in Italy and Morgana ban out, as well as the Draven, Fiora, and placeholder ban from Active Rush.
Hello, hello.
Hey, welcome
So
back.
we don't see a Thresh ban, huh?
Nope. So it's Cowabunga then.
I see.
Also going to be seeing the first pick Wukong once again for Team Ishtar.
They
It's a pretty
banned
good
them more.
champion.
They're really like tempting them. They're like, we're gonna pick Thresh. So you guys better have an answer.
I mean, it feels like after last game that Active Rush really going to be needing to change up their strategies coming into this game, right? It was a pretty thorough shellacking that they received in the previous match, and we're hoping the metal holds up and we get a good game number 2 here. Galio already locked in, and ready to see here the second pick in just a few more moments. Going to be the Lee Sin going for that early aggressive jungler. Definitely a change from Sejuani that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, for sure. This is a lot more heavy on early. The draft cover doesn't tell us too much right now, but it gives Ishtar again the comfort. Rek'Sai pick is already a counter to the Lee Sin, so we'll see how this plays out. And there's a Thresh.
History repeats itself. Wukong, Rek'Sai, Thresh, 3 champions we saw last game on Ishtar. If it ain't broke, don't fix it here. Active Rush, one more pick in this first part of the draft phase. I mean, looking at the way the last game went, what kind of strategies do you think that Active Rush need to be looking for if they want to have a better go of it in this second game?
I'm really looking at execution, really. They have to draft themselves a stronger bomb. I don't think Braum killing is that strong.
Okay.
So I'm honestly expecting the Jhin this time from Tagashima. And we'll see what support the draft. They go with the Darius top lane to match that Wukong. That's going to be an interesting fight. I'm not sure exactly how. I didn't see it too much with the new Wukong being played. But usually Darius was picked into Wukong. Actually, sorry, I take that back. I think it's the other way around because Wukong can clone while Darius is about to ulti, and then he ultis the clone, and it's really bad. So, but it can go either way, really.
So the thing that, having some experience into this matchup top lane, the thing that makes Darius such a threat against the Wukong is that every time the Wukong looks to trade, you can just hit your buttons and out damage him, right? Yeah. Even new Wukong, if Darius is looking for the Conqueror, which is 100% what you should be grabbing here, he has the ability to sustain up, to heal up, and Wukong is not a beefy enough champion in the early game to really match the Darius, and he doesn't have that many ways of escaping from the Darius once he gets that cripple slow on him and starts chasing him down here. So Jhin is actually going to be the lock-in as you predicted here, Jaw. So a smart call on that one, and going to be seeing what Team Ishtar wants after banning the Caitlyn and Diana. Talia going to be the hover here. It's to be foreseen if that is the lock-in. Talia not a champion we've seen a lot of in the recent meta, but certainly a pretty decent control mage option.
Yeah, not really, and I think that is a Talia mid most likely. Does still give a lot of roaming power, and especially with the Ashe Thresh, that is a very easy setup in the bot lane for a gank, especially on a champ like Jhin, which has no escapes whatsoever.
Right, Jhin relegated to exclusively using that summoner flash to try to get out of these dicey situations, and when you're against a Thresh Ashe, that is a lot of pick potential. To be sure here, support pick still remaining. I mean, it could be a Galio and Jhin in the bot lane. We have seen that Galio flex support in the past, but we'll have to see what the final decision is here from Active Rush.
That's true. If it is not the Galio, I'd like to see something that can peel as well. Let's see what they go with here. He's going to tell us if that Galio is a mid laner or... Yeah, it is a Galio support.
Okay, so it's Galio support. You're going to be seeing the Nico going mid lane into...
Okay, I don't know if that's actually a Nico lock-in or...
All right. Doesn't look
I
like
guess it is.
anything is said. So,
Yeah,
all right.
it is
Looks
a
like that
Nico lock-in.
will be the Nico there. So, as we head into the Champions League proper, what are your thoughts on these compositions coming here into game number 2, John?
Never pick a fight you can't.
I'm gonna give it to Team Ishtar again. I like their draft better here. The Jin Galio into Thresh Ash is again. I'm gonna give it to Thresh Ash. That's Thresh Ash favored, and especially with the Rek'Sai Talia roaming down. That is a very tough lane for Jin. He has to play very far back, but I mean, Jin is one of the champs that can do that, so that's not too bad. And they might look to try and use maybe be the aggressors by having Galio go in and having a Lee Sin come in, because Active Rush does have to change something. So maybe if they are proactive in this bot lane, and we'll see how it plays out.
I think the one lane that I'm really looking at here for Active Rush is the Darius into the Wukong, right? Like that can certainly be a point of power for the Darius if we do see Krobowagic able to, find advantages in that solo, right? So
right, and like we saw last game, Tygoon was always looking for all in, right? He was always looking for the extended trades, and I don't think he can do that with Darius. So that's going to be an interesting shift in power. In terms of who's chasing who.
And I mean, you have the much more aggressive jungler coming in here. I do believe that there was a jungle swap here. Kei Takabuchi coming through on the Lee Sin, replacing K9, I believe, was the previous jungler there. So certainly could be a change up in terms of strategy.
Yeah, that might be a change of tempo. We'll see how this new jungler. I don't think I've seen Kei Takabuchi play before, so it's going to be interesting. It is pretty concerning though if this game does go late. Active Rush does not have a lot of late game guarantee, so Jin is not the best AD late game. Lee Sin does fall off, and Nico and Galio is going to come down to how they play the fights. If she gets like a big ulti, then sure. But maybe I'm looking at the Darius to be the one cleaning up the fights here.
I mean, that is a Darius specialty if I've ever seen one. So, I mean, look at this draft like with what these teams are wanting to do. This is definitely a different fight, overall compositional philosophy from the side of Active Rush, right? And we talked about how game number 1 and how that was not exactly a close match, how this is going to be super important for Active Rush to really look to change things up coming into game number 2. And it looks like they have, at least from a composition standpoint. But I mean, you said it yourself, Jaw. Ishtar certainly a squad to beat in this game.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's one thing. That's a good thing, though. I mean, they were looking to change something, and they did. So we'll see if they can pull it off this game. But again, Ishtar is looking very, very scary this draft as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially after last game, you have to say to yourself, well, okay, they absolutely and quite frankly dynamited Active Rush in the previous match. So they've got 3 of the exact same characters. Is there going to be anything that makes this difficult for them to not just run away with?
So if we kind of rewind and see what happened last game. You remember, I think top lane died just 1v1, and at the same time the jungler got invaded and died 1v1 as well. So that tells me that's just misexecution, or really like miscommunication from the team. So it's really, I don't think that can happen many times in a series. So laner's going to be playing more smart now. Like he knew, okay, I died 1v1 last game, so let's not do that. And then the jungler also died, so he's going to like maybe be more wary of his jungle entrances and warding and stuff like that. So we'll see. And then that early snowball, of course, Ishtar snowballed really well with that, with those early kills. So if those don't happen, maybe we'll see a lot more of a closer game.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm really hoping for it again, because both of these teams had very good records coming to the series, highly anticipated match, and it's really a shame that the star players from Active Rush simply had those scheduling conflicts and weren't able to arrive in time for the game, right?
Yeah, yeah. That would have been very interesting to see how Expo and Rolich play against this team, because Ishtar is looking really strong, but we also know those two players are pretty strong players. So, but we're looking at what we have here, and it's still Active Rush. So, I mean, it's not really their whole team. They're in second place for a reason. And it's definitely not just those two players. So the rest of the team should be pretty strong as well, and we'll see.
Yeah. So about a minute left in Spectator. We'll be right back in just a few minutes here with our second game of the night. You won't want to miss it here on the Black Twitch League Twitch.tv channel.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. You give me fever, 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 you give me fever.
All right, and we are back for game number 2 here. Both teams loading in onto the Rift. To scream on off here, and it's going to be Active Rush heading on off as a 5-man stack once again. Both teams looking for this invade, and going to be another classic case of ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
We do see Team Ishtar heading for that top side.
That's very interesting. Both teams literally just went for the same invade. I really hope they don't drop a word right here. I want them to do it a little bit deeper. I guess both teams... Oh, this time at least Active Rush worded their own blue to see if they invaded there. And yeah, they do get the word on the red buff, so that's going to give them a lot more information than just a tri-bush ward.
Okay.
Let's see if Active Rush also drops a deep ward. They must, right?
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love seeing it. It's learning in action.
Yeah. So this is going to tell both junglers where the other jungler is starting.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how the pathing differs with these two teams, right? So we have Voperdo once again on the Rek'Sai, had a dynamite performance of that last game, and Kei Takabuchi, first time in this series, replacing K9. Definitely a different style of jungler than the Sejuani here.
If I was Volperdo here, I would have really liked to see him use that sweeper. So what he did is he's the one that dropped the ward on the enemy red, and then he swapped it for a sweeper. Usually when you do that as a jungler, you use it. You can use it on your first buff if you suspect there was an invade, and it did come off cooldown there. So if he did use it, he would have known that they did drop a ward on his red, but he did not. So maybe he'll use it when he is ganking.
We describe that as a modern tragedy. The top lane here, some good damage coming through from the Darius onto the Wukong. Certainly kind of a tough lane for the Wukong to be in, right? This is not
looks
the same setup, but look at this fight mid lane.
Yeah.
And Ethan, they're really trading blow for blow.
Level 2 power spike? Nah, they already hit level
Through
2.
hook lands onto the Jin, taunt there for the Galio, finding a ton of damage.
Dead.
Togishimu in big trouble there. Flash already burned first blood now for Frostbite. Looking to run down VT Nelson on the Galio. And forced to pop the flash and do that support walk of shame under the tower. And once again, early game aggression insane. But here's Ropedo top lane, forcing the flash from Krobo Wajik.
Oh, man.
He's in the neighborhood, but not there to dissuade the gank.
Team Ishtar again, the ones pulling the trigger here first in the game, and every time, when I try to pinpoint what went wrong in a game, usually you look at the early game first to see if you. Oh, is this gonna be another kill here?
The Ignite coming on down there. Blade of Thesis in trouble with more auto attack enough to take that. Lee Sin is here.
She does go
the
down.
Ignite does get that kill picked up. Lee Sin
gets
not able to secure the kill. That is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's already 2-0 for Team Ishtar with a lot of summoners blow. Almost every summoner's blowed on Active Rush's side, so a little bit of a rough start here once again.
Yeah, when we talk about history repeating itself, we didn't want it to be quite that literal, right? But here we are, 2-0 lead here at the 4-minute mark, and I have a lot of fear for Active Rush. You're looking at a situation where going on it, both top laners have the Conqueror, but the Darius certainly does have that damage advantage with the potential passive pop there. So we're to the bot lane. Oh, Vopero
no.
finding Takabuchi, looking for this collapse coming on in. The Ignite is there. Does get some
they're
kills
not on the same
off
page.
that crab. Darius is getting some of that life back. Here comes Bladed Thesis on the Nico, able to get a root onto Vopero and dissuade the play. Takabuchi is saved there. Man, what a Roma from the mid laner to save the top and jungle.
Yeah, Bladed Thesis saves the day there, but however, I think that was a misexecution from.
Oh, Ethan is here. Takabuchi does pop that Sonic Wave, but not going to connect on that one. And
Just cancels the back. Oh, TP coming in.
teleport coming on through for the Darius, looking to stop Ethan and Will Roberto over the
Oh, they just had
wall.
to go in on
Least
the Nico.
incoming. This could be rough for Bladed Thesis, but there's the damage.
There you
Takabuchi
go.
taking that kill. Darius around the other side. Flash not available for Ethan. There's going to be the Lee Sin kiting it on out. Ethan will fall on a huge turn coming on through for the side of Active Rush.
Active Rush, bring it back. This is not history repeating itself, guys. And finally, now it's 2 for 2 on the board. Active Rush gets some kills for themselves.
Man, and you can't understate how huge that turnaround was. Momentum majorly in favor of TI going into that play, but the teleport's coming on through, and really maybe some overconfidence from Team Ishtar there ends up selling them up the river. And gold, only 400 deficit now, and this is such a huge difference from the first game, right?
Yeah, I'm actually. This is gonna start looking a lot better now for top lane, especially because Tygoon chose to go with the Ignite, and you saw how the TP came clutch there, where Krobo TP'd behind and then helped his team secure the kill, and the Ignite didn't really help Tygoon get much in that sequence.
Right, it was very close to picking up the kill, but couldn't quite ace it out there. Kei Takabuchi very smartly choosing to smite the Scuttle Crab, get that health back, and that put him in a situation where he was able to survive and then also contribute to the rest of the team fight, right? Picking up a kill, getting an assist, Roberto getting engaged on. VT Nelson going over the wall, does have the taunt coming on through, will lock up the Rek'Sai, gets smashed by Kei Takabuchi's Lee Sin. That's a huge pickup, looking to maybe continue the fight here, but in the top lane, Krobo Wajik putting the damage onto Tygoon's Wukong.
And for the first time this series, Active Rush pulls ahead in terms of gold and kills. So this is definitely going to be a different game, depending on. Hopefully, bot lane doesn't snowball too far out of control, but so far so good.
Right, absolutely, and I mean, you know, you're looking at a situation where, right up until just a moment ago, right, this was all Team Ishtar, and just a couple of kills, a couple of differences have, you know, created a situation where finally this Team's capable of doing something. Wukong goes on, and there does pop it on the Crobo Logic. Big mistake there is Tygoon picks up the solo kill onto Darius. Disrespectful choice as far as back location.
Yeah, that was definitely greedy back from Crowbar right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking at Kei Takabuchi, so far making his debut, I believe, real good. I think he had a bounty on him just a couple seconds ago. I guess now it faded, but yeah, 2-0 and 1 in the early game, and hopefully he keeps his tempo up because on Lee Sin you wanna be on the move nonstop.
Mm-hmm. That's just that you talk about tempo, and that is the perfect way to describe it, Jaw. Again, you want to keep up the pace in this Lee Sin. Some strong early game moves there. Gonna get a steal onto that.
Did they steal that? Oh no, they didn't.
I believe they did actually.
No, it's still up, I think. Yeah, they're doing it right now. They decided to back off. Lee Sin just jumped over the wall because he realized.
Better safe than sorry situation.
Yeah.
Be sure there is. Lee Sin gets in close to the level 6 mark, along with the Dragon's Rage there. And Crobo Logic now back top, going for this very armor-heavy build.
Yeah, once again, going for the tabbies. I think tabbies is honestly a cheat code for top lane. You just go to whoever goes tabbies first, and then hopefully you don't die, because it's a very strong item against most bruisers. Is Voperta doing Rift Herald here, and then he's just not spotted, or is he doing Crab? I can't tell really.
He is doing the Rift Herald currently. Yeah, they simply don't have the Oh wow, that's going to be dropping Ethan very
Almost
low,
a
but
solo
not quite
kill here.
enough damage to actually finish that kill off. Crobo Logic looking for this play in the top lane. Ignite going onto the Wukong, getting dropped, taking a ton of damage. He's going to drop the dunk on down. Now looking for Voperto, forced to flash, and the Conqueror is in. Will take that kill. Bladed Thesis in danger. Voperto's damage of this Rek'Sai enormous, and just like that, Team Ishtar taking the lead back into their hands. Some over-aggression and some micro mistakes really costing Active Rush.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. I think the Lee Sin damage was not enough, or the Nico was not aware that they were fighting. I'm not sure, but it was a 2v1. But I guess the Rek'Sai jump on the Lee Sin was too much, and the burst was very high. And also Voperta, again, sneaking in the Rift Hell without any really consequences. They get first tower here. That's crazy, actually.
I mean,
That's
Darius may be able to lock in Voperta, but the first tower going over, they get the snare onto Sincere support. Quite a lot of damage onto VT Nelson. Ultimate over from Sluggish Emu. Kei Takabuchi looking to make things work, but no Dragon's Rage available to kick into the Wukong, and both will get out more or less scot-free there in the top lane. And the first tower gold going on through. Kei Takabuchi looking to make it happen. Goes on through. Wukong snaps him up under tower. Does he have the damage? There's the flash of the second ult, and Tygoon with an absolutely massive outplay.
That was, oh man, Kei Takabuchi thought he got him for sure there, but it turns out to be the clone, and ends up going down for not respecting the tower.
That was maximum cranium capacity plays there from Tygoon. The absolutely big brain Wukong strategies coming in clutch there. You have to think about, tilt maybe being a factor there, right? Like you had a pretty significant lead there in the early game. We're able to see Active Rush claw it back and just as quickly perhaps throw it away.
Yeah, easy come, easy go, I guess. That was a short and brief.
Barely missing since your support is here. Catch out onto the Jin, force the flash there, looking for last auto attack. Will find that kill onto Emu with Voperto in danger. Teleport coming down from Crobo Logic. Darius getting the slow, getting the shutdown, finding that kill, and it's a 2-for-1 play. The teleport wisely popped by the Darius, but here comes Ethan looking to make things happen. Bladed Thesis does not have the flash, will be forced to back on off here, and the choice is to go for Dragon. And just pop it. Wukong coming on down. Doesn't quite have the ultimate, but does have plenty of damage. We're seeing the members of Active Rush forced to disengage off the play.
Alright, so Active Rush still alive and kicking. Still going for proactive plays and TPs and such, which is good to see, but they are still at around 2.3k, like 2k deficit-ish, which was a 3k deficit before that play, so that was definitely good for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that has certainly not given up here, right? But it is definitely an uphill battle, nonetheless, for them. And I mean, I think a big thing you need to look at is his body defense, right? You know, Jin nearly 30 CS down, a couple kills down as well, and now 2 dragons as a team. And this is, while not nearly the same caliber of blowout as last game, certainly a match where we see some serious advantages still in the way of Team Ishtar, and it's really going to be a tough time to claw back into this one, right? 2,000 gold, 2,500 of the difference, a lot of pressure across multiple lanes, and Wukong, who's a major threat. The Kei Takabuchi does land that
here,
kick to go in. There's the kick back onto the thresh. That's not the target. You may be wanting to go. Galio ult coming on through here. There's the ultimate pop by the Jin, but immediately Castle Frostbite will eat the kick and the taunt. Easy kill picked up there, but Tygoon in the top lane looking to spin onto Krobo Wajik, gets the heal, but that Wukong damage is absolutely
He
insane.
got him. Second R.
And Krobo Wajik will get run down here as Tygoon waits for the E and the Q, the
Throws
taunt.
a bit of BM there as well.
Oh, yeah. Just gotta send a message, right?
Yeah, it's not like that matchup is also starting to snowball out of control. Again, going for the Blade of Ruin King and Tiamat build. Both have
Wukong is
tabbies
pretty
now.
strong right now.
Yeah, he is. He's
I
definitely in a
think
good
that
spot.
Krobo Wajik may have been made aware of that as well.
Yeah. No, Wukong's definitely pretty strong at the moment. I think he even got buffed recently.
It's a real pain that the spectator UI makes it look like it's the Galio on the mini map, or makes the Nico clone look like it's that player. It clones the portrait too,
Oh, yeah?
I believe. It's a real
Yeah, so you
jerk.
can't tell who's where even as a spectator.
Yeah.
Nico, I just realized Nico's going for what's that item called? Hextech GLP.
The hose, yes.
Yeah, the whole
That's
thing.
That's pretty standard fare, but it's a little surprising that she's going for that, given the fact that she isn't running Glacial Augment.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, so she has Electrocute. I guess it is still good to kind of guarantee the ult. It still does give us slow. People forget that item is an item within itself. Like it still does slow. So it's definitely a good item on Nico, but
It has a slow, but it's only a snare if you have the Glacial Augment.
right, yeah.
But I mean, it's certainly a major cooldown. But looking at the way this game is going, again, about 1,500 gold, the difference between these two squads here. And if Darius is able to kind of shore up the bleeding, maybe there's a better chance here. But still, 2 levels to get down against the Wukong.
Oh, tank
There's
H.
a kick back.
Another kick on the thresh.
Onto the Ash, finding some of that good damage there since your support does not have the flash available. One more auto will easily be able to find that. But VT Nelson on the backside of the fight gets crushed by the Ash. One more.
He's still not
It's going to be
dead.
a way on out. One more auto attack. The Jin W could be the ticket there. Is going to go wide, but Bladed Pieces is there. If Thuggish Emu continues that play, but here comes Tygoon finding the multi-man ultimate, but can't quite get the ult onto the Ash. Tygoon unstoppable, looking for the Nico. The second cast of the ultimate lands a double carry. Here comes Darius trying to make the play happen. Ash and Pero will get hit by the ult. Darius' passive is procced with his health going precariously low as he flashes over the wall to safety, and it's a 2-4-2 at the end of the play.
Whew, what a messy fight there. I think that was definitely a misexecution on Active Rush's side. Like the guy who stayed and tried to 1v1 the Ash, and then Ash ends up realizing, wait, you're alone and your team went after my thresh, so I'm just gonna kill you.
So I think the big problem there is it was a very serious case of split focus, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, 2 members going for the support, which isn't necessarily bad, but you know, just cleaning up that communication is so important.
Yeah, and then even what they did, like running after the thresh ended up stop watching the Jin 4th shot in the ulti, and ended up living way too long, which
ended up drawing them into a majorly disadvantageous play, right? And that's the
so
big
it bought
thing.
enough time for the rest of the team to show up, and that could have been a lot cleaner for sure.
Yeah, and that's You gotta secure the kill. The ult was definitely kind of cheeky from Thugashimu, and I mean it's one of those things like, yeah, you want to get the style points there, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was flash burned from the Jin right here.
Burn from the Jin, almost face checking into the darkness there. Galio could be in trouble. There's going to be the Lee Sin going into the backline, looking to get the taunt onto two from the Galio. Tycoon dropped fairly low. Great hook back onto the Lee Sin. Will find that kill there. Another one going on through. Bladed Thesis looking for the ultimate. Finds two, finds that damage. Krobo Wajik can't quite get over the wall. A double kill for the Thresh. Ethan is there. Will find that target. And Tycoon now legendary at 18 minutes.
Oh my god, Darius was standing over the wall trying to find the pull, and then he pulls, and then Ishtar was like, wait, you're stuck in here with me. I'm not stuck in here with you. So they get him as well, and that was just I believe a 3 for 0.
It's
Ishtar.
like that classic instant regret a Mumu bandage toss where you hit the
yeah.
you immediately reconsider every choice you've made up in your life until that.
It's like, or a Blitzcrank hook. You're like, wait, can you just go back? Can you not be here? I forget what I did.
Oh man, it's the classic hooking the singed into the middle of your team. Ah, just exactly where I wanted to be, thank you. The Ramus backline delivery service, if you will.
Yeah.
But still, getting close to that 20-minute mark. Baron going to be available here shortly. A significantly smaller goal deficit than the previous game, to be sure, but still a pretty sizable advantage for the side of Team Ishtar, who is now looking at about 5,000 gold up here with 3 dragons very close to getting the Ocean Soul, which will be spawning in just a little under 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm honestly just concerned for Active Rush. Like you said, what you know how you said the last game that depending like the comp, how easy it is to execute. This comp is pretty difficult to engage on. Like you have to get a Lee Sin kick, and then Galio follows up by ulting the Lee Sin that's in the middle of the enemy team. That's usually what you're gonna look to do on this comp, and that's pretty hard to execute.
It's far from guaranteed.
Yeah, far from guaranteed. Whereas if you look on Active Rush side,
caught out. That's a fair bit of damage. Lee Sin going over the wall will get popped up immediately. A great lantern on out there from Silent Support, Sincere Support. Pardon me. This Thresh play has been just fantastic in both games.
Yeah.
It'll be a root out on the Wukong to stop potential engage. Krobo Wajik could be caught out here. Could be Ethan the flash, the pop up. Voperdo taking that kill on the Rek'Sai, and a very clean pick off there puts Krobo Wajik on a 30-second death timer. Baron is available. They do have the damage to take this objective with a 2-item Ashes. Bladed Thesis gets ground down to half health. Frostbite looking to clean up that kill, but Bladed Thesis is certainly in peril there. One more auto attack as Frostbite pops the flash. Not able to get the last hit, but this mid lane tower may be the victim. 5 seconds until the respawn from the Darius. Inhibitor tower almost certainly.
Takabuchi is behind them here.
Oh, look out for that Lee Sin. They're going to try to make this play happen. Krobo Wajik off the fountain, but doesn't quite have the right timing for that. A nice Dragon's Rage across the team. Will try to slow down Tygoon. There's Krobo Wajik as the Darius. Finding that kill, a huge 3-man ult. Now from Bladed Thesis. The rest of the team coming up. There's the follow through. 2 already gone down. No, that's 3. Frostbite could be in peril on this Ashe. Ethan still manning the front line here. It is all 5 members still alive, though low life bars. Looking for the retreat here. Ethan going back in the bush. Will find BT Nelson. Ashe looking for that recall timer there, and we'll be able to get that around the red buff. And 3 kills off the turn opens up an opportunity for some precious vision recovery around that Baron for the side of Active Rush.
Yeah, I think they could have got the mid tower there as well, but they chose not to. But that was a one shutdown onto someone from Active Rush. The Wukong went down.
Yeah.
as well as I think two other. That was a really good flash Nico ulti from
Huge.
Bladed Pieces. Got I think 3 targets there, which made the fight really. And I think the ultis on Ishtar's side were all down. So yeah, that was a good fight.
Right, but the thing you have to consider now is, okay, that was the dream fight coming through for the side of Active Rush. What do you do while these flash timers are done? It's going to be another 4 minutes until Nico can even try to do that again. And in that intermittent time, the Ocean Dragon will be spawning. The
Right.
Baron is still an objective, and it's kind of a wake-up call, right, for Team Ishtar, that they can't just sleepwalk through this game like they did in the last match. They're actually going to have to put up a good effort here. 3,000 gold in the lead, really clearing around this vision by the Dragon, something that they certainly want here. Ocean Drake Soul is an extraordinarily powerful buff, right?
This is going to be something interesting here. I think they're going to rotate. With 5
I think
or
they don't have to. I think that you just get the inhibitor here. You don't make the call for Dragon. Just
Ishtar
say,
does make
okay,
the call,
fine,
keep
take
pushing.
the Dragon. We'll get your inhib. Your base is totally open. Gonna be forced on back here. 4 members of the squad coming through. Jin not in the right vicinity here. That's gonna be the tower destroyed. A great macro
man.
play for Team Ishtar. Krobo Wajik
There has
leading the
to-
front
has to
of
be
the
a fight.
charge. Jin is there. Destroys the rest of the team, but that's the inhib falling there, looking for the fight. Health bars very, very low. Sun support finds that, but Frostbite untouched on the backline, absolutely eviscerating those health bars as the Ash. 2 have fallen already. There's a third. Thugishimu and Kei Takahashi now in trouble. The ultimate from the Rex side takes him straight to the backline. As Thugishimu gets popped over the wall, Ethan is there, and that's the ace.
That's an
And
ace.
almost certainly an end to this second game.
I don't know if they can end it, but I guess they can get this one next out. Oh yeah, I think they are pushing for the
Reinforcing
end.
wave is here. They have the death timers. This is almost certainly a victory picked up in man.
Yeah, they just didn't have the damage for it. Even though Nico did get another good ulti, but they just. I think Jin opening up with the ulti might be a little, because yeah, you're gonna get some utility there. Like you're gonna get some
Right.
damage, some slowing, but the sustained DPS, which Ash was doing in the backline,
Insane.
you have none of that. So
Right, and I think a lot of that comes down to just, it was a very smart call from the side of Team Ishtar to say, well, okay, if you want to take that dragon, we'll let you have it. We'll just claim the rest of your base, right?
Right.
And even if they cut that wave off, that's 2 inhibitors down. You just pressure for Baron then. And what is a team that has super minions flooding into the base with such lackluster wave clear going to do? And it's very clear the right choice as the game ended.
Yeah, it
right
looked
then
like
and there.
one team was on the same page, the other team was a little bit hesitant there. Like you could see some of them were trying to back, and then some of them were like they canceled their backs. They're like, oh wait, should we back? Should we collapse? Should we?
I think
Yeah,
that
but-
if Jin actually completes that base, he's in a better position